Hello, all you fine villains and lovely villainesses. Today, yes, I've returned. Yeah, you gotta ignore the 2 videos I put up, but I know I've been gone for like 2 weeks, but I was on vacation. What are you gonna do? But before I get into a boatload of stuff that I've missed, please help a villain out. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification whenever I upload. You'll be the first to know with that out of the way. Let's get on into this. So before I get into warframe details, I was recently at ColossalCon. If you remember seeing my villainous face, please definitely hit a like. Let me know in the comments section. If not, it is what it is. Don't worry about it. But while I was there, again, since last year, I did a whole video. This year, I'm doing another video. So I got a few things. If you do remember, I got myself a dice, and if you can see back there, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and way off in the distance, off camera, I also got myself a big ol' Slifer the Sky Dragon. And I know, you know, those are cool, but I've been looking for some waifu animes. And the short story, real quick, last year when I went, they had a Dark Magician girl, and I really liked it. But I didn't want to spend money on it, and when I went to actually go spend money on it, they were out. So this year, I got peer pressured. I bought it. But you know, I know what you're saying. You're about to show us, right? Yes, actually. But I have already mounted it on the wall. So real quick, let's get to it. Look at that. It's a little bit of glare, but yep, that is the Dark Magician girl. I put her up on my wall there just because nothing else was there. But that is not all that I got there. I got a few other things. I'm actually full on art. I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 things, at least 2 more things I want to put up, but for right now, I'm actually really good. I did get something small because Saturday while I was there, I absolutely missed it, and I regret staying as long as I did, but you know, I wanted to get my full vacation. I really missed my cat Merlin, which you did see somewhere in the back there, but I got a little, look at that. It's a little shark costume, and little tabby. I love this. The lady said that her son made this. I don't know if it's true, but I do want to shout them out. So here is their card. And I will try to flip it around for you guys, because to me it looks backwards. But yep, Cope's Creations, they have a Etsy account and email. Definitely go take a look at them. Again, that is just absolutely beautiful. It feels really good. It's a little squishy. But next year I'm gonna try to, one of my cosplays, I'm gonna try to put them right there. Gotta have my little buddy going around with me. I did get one other piece of artwork, and as everyone knows, I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. Do I want to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows right now? Not right now. But I really do love Assassin's Creed. And so, I have for y'all Ezio Auditore di Firenze. I know it's, you can see the reflection and whatever, but like, yeah, this is someone actually drew this whole thing. Man, it's cool, and it's gonna be mounted. I don't know where exactly it's gonna be mounted, but I was a huge fan for 30 bucks. Hey, you know what? I might as well. All right, so that is all I got from ColossalCon 2024. Next year, I plan on doing some other stuff that's not Assassin's Creed. Mainly, I got a Umbreon cosplay I'm gonna be getting into. I will do a video on that whole progression, or some shorts. Probably gonna do some shorts here and there, because I want to actually make my own. Not completely, but bits and pieces. But anyways, so there I am in the middle of my vacation, and the next dev stream comes up, and guess what? It's the dev stream we've been all waiting for. So now let's get on into that. Anyways, so here is Devstream 180. Now let's get on into, yes, Jade and her abilities. Pablo, take it away.
Hello, hello. I'm here to show you Jade, our latest warframe, and what she is all about. There she is, look at her. So what she's about, she's a support frame. She has protection for allies. She has debuffs against enemies, and then she packs a punch with her fourth. So let's start with her passive. Her passive has two parts. The first part, I'm probably going to show an image somewhere around here, is that she has two mod slots that are dedicated to auras. So basically you can put any two auras that you want. You can just throw them in there. Both of them increase the capacity, so obviously she's kind of easier to build because of that. They affect all allies and enemies just like any aura would. The other part of her passive is that her 1 and her 4th apply a debuff to enemies they hit. Her first ability creates this zone over here, and as you can see, that's where that is. And while I'm inside the zone, you can see in the upper right I have that little indicator there. That means that I'm taking healing over time as long as I'm inside. And when I leave, you can see it now goes from infinite duration to a set duration, similar to how it works with Wisp and her modes. Essentially, while you're in the area, they last forever. Once you get out, it changes. And you can have up to 3 of these zones. And for enemies, when you throw it to them, basically it'll deal damage over time, and it will mark them with your passive, which is what I was talking about earlier, which basically increases how much damage they take from all sources. For her second ability, she has 3 different auras that you can select from. So if I activate it here, you can see I get squad shield effectiveness, and you can see my overshields are growing until they reach the cap. Now if I can switch my aura without having to recast, so it costs me no energy. So I just switch to this one, which this increases my ability strength. And as you can see, I actually kept the overshield, so you can actually kind of do some strategery things there. Also, you can do the same with this power strength one, because you can, for example, right now you could cast her 3 or her 4th or her 1, which will snapshot the power strength that she has right now, and then after that you could switch to the other aura, which is weapon damage increase for the squad. So you are kind of incentivized to swap around the auras as you need them. Again, it costs you no energy to swap the aura, it's just the initial cast that costs you. For her third ability, any enemy that's on her sight gets slowed down and gets their armor removed. So you can see these guys now are moving quite slowly, and their armor is now gone, and they're basically at the mercy of my gaze. For the ally part of this ability, we have this. You can see Mark is over there. He died. He's one of the designers working on Jade. And I can just use my third ability, and I can revive him at a distance just by looking at him. It's my very, very powerful sight. And finally, she takes flight. As you can see, she moves kind of similar to Hildren, but way faster. She can move around quite a bit. This is actually an exalted weapon, so you can just shoot enemies with it. As you can see, does quite a bit of damage, or you can mark them with your 1, and then you can use your outfire to detonate them for ludicrous amounts of damage. So yeah, as you can see, with her 4, she does pack quite a bit of punch. So that's it for Jade.
So again, that was exactly from Pablo, and just from his lips to God's ears, or at least to my ears. Not saying I'm either, but it sounds like the next Warframe Jade is going to be amazing. Yes, her first ability is going to be very similar to Wisp's, and it looks like it's going to be off of percentages instead of actual numericals, which that is, I guess, a very good way of doing healing over time and damage percentages. I'm pretty sure it goes off of your base health or whatever it currently is, and that would definitely scale with anything. Would also have to say her second ability, having that aura, 3 of them, it kind of feels like Jade has become this I guess an amalgam of a bunch of different frames all at once. So like you have a bit of chroma for the auras, you have a bit of wisp, you have a thing that slows enemies down and strips their armor, and then you have a 4th ability that is essentially Zephyr and Hildren's combined. So like, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely will be buying this frame. I think this is gonna be the frame that everyone straight up gets. Personally, Again, I love the fourth ability more than anything. I think that their third ability is going to be subsumable, so definitely start to see that on allies. I think they did say that they were going to cut out the reviving enemy or reviving allies, but everything else I do like it. I want to go back to way back here. So they are putting in 2 aura slots, and I think they do go on to say that those aura slots will be added to Jade's capacity. I'm not 100% sure. It might only do it once. So, and if it does do it once, whatever. If it does it twice, that'd be really good. But I'm hoping that we don't just have people just putting for the second one something silly like put the steel charger in and then something else. I'm hoping for actually a whole lot of diversity with this one. And on top of that, with that being said, that also makes her Exilus slot there probably the most useful out of all of them. I say that because you have Coax and Drift, which will increase your auras and their potency. So honestly, I think having all of those, both of those plus that, is going to make everything a hell of a lot better. I'm probably going to be seeing, if anything, what was it, the one that depletes shields like that, or just, it's pretty much the corrosive one, which reduces enemy armor, and then, but that instead it's the shield. And if not, you're probably going to be... There's a lot of things you can be doing with that. Seeing that there's immediately at a dash polarity, whatever. I do like the fact that her health and her shields are pretty high. Her armor is kind of meh, but it sounds like you're going to want to go with more shields than anything. So this doesn't really give me a health, more of a shield. So that first ability might be the one thing I subsume out for something else. I will be doing a build video for her and maybe with something else. I don't know. That's to be determined as of right now. Other than that, that is Jade. And I do want to go over the other things that happened. These are just the short things. I'm not going to go over the total of it. Please go and watch the whole thing.
You know, answers to blasts and things that we weren't able to talk about on 179. Pablo has notes. What do we got for a status rework now?
Just throw it out.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
Let's go! Come on!
Yeah, because we last time we didn't talk about what we said we were going to change blast, but we didn't say what it was going to do. So a blast basically now, when you get a proc on an enemy of blast, after delay, that blast has like a secondary explosion that deals a percentage of the damage that you dealt initially. Or if you get all the way to 10 stacks or kill the enemy, then that secondary detonation does a sum up of all the damage and does it in an AoE, so it hits enemies around it and it kind of spread the blast. So
blast is blastier. Yeah.
Blast is definitely
Make a grenade
blastier.
out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
The blast blasts.
Exactly.
Awesome.
What else we changed? Magnetic. Last time I said that we were not going to change magnetic. I lied. We are going to change magnetic. Basically,
That was a lie.
yeah. As many of you pointed out, it became kind of impossible to really compete with Toxin when it came to shields. Just basically Toxin is too good because it skips the shields. So what we did for magnetic is a couple of different things. One is the damage scaling that it does now not only applies to shields, but also to Overguard. So now it's a very good tool against Eximus in general. And when you break the shields or the Overguard, it does a secondary damage of electrical status. So it's basically like it overloaded the shield generator and electrifies the target. So basically once you take out those shields, have like a secondary punch of damage that really hurts them and CCs them because it's electricity.
Does it give an electric proc?
Yeah. Yeah, so you'll see, once you break the shields, you'll see them.
Oh,
That's nice.
my condition overload just got.
Yeah.
It's like a Tesla truck recall, but yeah. Oh. Yeah. Cool.
What else we we have.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Anyway,
Rebecca was giving us a list of things not to say.
That wasn't on it.
That is true.
last time we talked about frost, about cold, which basically now can get all the way to 10 stacks and then can freeze enemies. So because of that, we decided to revise frost.
The warframe.
The warframe. So curiously enough, frost for the longest time really didn't apply that many. Like he did apply quite a bit of cold procs, but not as many as you'd think, because his freezing was like a fake freeze. Like he had like just a script version of it.
It's a phony.
Yeah.
Dude,
So now we made it so that the freezing that he has is based on cold procs. Which means that instead of the enemies just kind of staying in place, now they also get the debuff that increases how much crit damage you do to them. So because of that, we had to do some changes, because obviously now that it's a status, that means that it kind of has to connect to status duration. So he has longer lasting cold procs from his abilities. And the duration of the freeze is now standardized across his abilities. So it's kind of more in line across the thing. We did some buffs to his one. Basically, the range of the hit of his one is bigger, and it scales with range, which it didn't used to. Now his three, so the globe, one long lasting request was that you could shoot from inside to out, but you could never shoot from out to in. So now you can shoot like that.
You can shoot through the snow globes.
can shoot
Request
through
10 years in the making. I
That's-
How
remember.
did we even do that?
I think I saw a coder working on how do you detect.
Oh, that's a veteran thing.
Oh my God.
That's a veteran
Okay,
thing.
wow.
And then we changed his passive. So his passive, again, is one that has been requested to get changed for a long time. Used to be when he got hit in melee, he had a chance to freeze enemies, which, generally by the time you get hit, that's not most useful. So now basically his armor increases based on how many enemies have cold procs around him. So it's similar to Ember, but it's like the defensive version of Ember.
That's cool.
Obviously, since armor scales, that synergizes really well with his orb, because that also scales the survivability of the orb.
That is incredible, because like when I build Frost, I'm always looking for a bit more survivability, and that is like.
Yeah,
Is this
especially
a
on the
stealth
cross.
It
frost rework then?
kind of is.
It sounds like you kind of buried the lead there.
Yeah.
That's pretty huge.
Yeah, I will imagine that after this, probably gonna get a lot of people asking, what about Bolt? Because Bolt is in a similar situation where he has fake electric procs on all his
Yeah.
abilities instead of real ones.
Yeah.
We're not touching that right now. It's just too much.
But you lied last time.
I know, I was gonna say, it sounds like it.
You lied about it. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
for now, not yet.
Yeah.
For
He's a
now.
serial liar.
The other thing is one problem that was always present with Frost is he would freeze enemies, and then if another player came in with a ragdolling ability, like like Nidus's 2 or something like that, like many ragdoll abilities we have, those enemies were immune to that because you couldn't ragdoll out of freeze. So obviously now that you can freeze with cold procs all over the place, that became really problematic. So we have some fixes, but it's such a complex part of the system that right now is undergoing kind of testing and checking a lot of edge cases and stuff. So we're hoping that it will ship with the update. But if the cure turns out to be worse than the disease, we're gonna have to hold it back and then do it in the next update. So yeah, we're testing right now. We're hoping it'll go with this. But basically what will happen is now you could ragdoll frozen enemies. They'll remain frozen, so you still have the
they
benefit
stiff
of the
ragdoll?
crit and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It is stiff ragdolls.
I mean, it kind
I
of
love how that
Wait,
works.
so if I'm Zephyr and I put a tornado and there's like 10 enemies, will it just be like statues in the tornado?
That looks great.
Whereas right now they just get ignored.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah,
you'll have
that's
like
great. That's
icicles.
awesome.
Oh my god.
That look cool.
So
Do you guys have any ice soul frame abilities? Because it sounds like we could work
Sounds
together.
like we need to steal some.
Oh my god.
All right. Anyways, so yeah, there's a bunch of statuses that are going to be just straight up changed. Blast is going to be blastier. I already have a bunch of frames that I am trying to figure out the best way to blast your blasting. We all know it's going to be Lavos, so don't get your panties in a bundle. Definitely going to be Lavos. I'm going to look for further from there, but Lavos, probably going to try for a few other ones just because of the Archon shards, which you'll be able to get shields back. So definitely ones with shields, and more than likely everything's going to be very interesting, but just temper your expectations. You never know how good this is. Now this update is going to be launching on the 18th, so like very soon, or whenever I get this out. I don't know when. Seeing all the changes to Frost, that's awesome. It's not in this dev stream, but if you go onto X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, they did say that Pablo already did a separate video for all the changes for Ember, and it's going to be very easy, very quick. I can go right on over that. It's not many changes, but a lot of her energy consumption is going to be lowered. You actually won't need to worry too much about energy for Ember. A lot of her stuff is actually going to get even better. So this next update, I'm just getting super excited. Who knows? I might actually put a blast build with Ember. Would be pretty interesting. With that, I think that was about it. Oh yeah, the new augments. So real quick. So the new augments, you have the Protea one, Sevagoth, Dagoth, and Corvix. I'm gonna go over them very quickly, very, I'll just touch on them. So the temporal artillery, when you're in your temporal anchor, you basically keep the turret on you and attack everything. I don't think you'll be able to keep that one and the other augment going all at the same time, so you'll have something that's constantly armor stripping. But if you can, that literally just made the meta for Protea essentially. Sevagoth's one, spreading so would definitely be very interesting, and it'll probably be very helpful for if you're trying to use his shadow. Easily be able to get that stuff up. If not, a nuke build right there. Spectral Spirit, I kind of like this one for Dagoth. It will make you actually try to use your Grave Spirit ability a lot more. Because that's the one thing with her right now, is the fact that whenever I play her, it rarely goes off, but when it does, it's good. And I usually take Molt Augmented off of her because it does not benefit that one whatsoever. But as it stands, this will actually make Spectral Spirit, the augment, even better. And then Wrecking Ball, because Corvex couldn't get any more broken. I'm just going to read this one. Containment Wall augment. Strip 50% of armor and shields from struck enemies. Hitting 5 or more enemies will restart the duration of any of the pillars and empower them. Do you know what this means? That means I can take off his 4th ability if I really wanted to, and then put pillars everywhere, and then literally just smash the living hell out of everything. Now, you could technically still keep the laser if you really want to. I love it because it's just... It's a short blast, and I love it. I think that is it as of right now. The Ureli Deluxe is okay. I'm not going to go over a lot of the other stuff. The Ascension gameplay, I don't want to deep dive into that. I will be making a Warframe for Dummies when that comes out, but for the time being, it's going to have to wait until the 18th, or at least a little bit after the 18th. So whenever I fully figure it out, I will definitely let you know. But before then, my hands are tied. What are you gonna do? Anyways, that is it. I'm back. Yes, there's a few videos that I've already have out. Please go watch them. Like, share, and subscribe for more villainous, weird stuff, I guess. My videos. I will be making more separate skits. I got one coming out with another Nyx. Really trying for that weird and kind of silly videos. Put it like this, it definitely involves Nyx. If you have seen the last Nyx one, you have a good understanding of what I'm going for. And if not, hey, you know what? I just want to make some people laugh. Anyways, y'all take care. Stay villainous. Goodbye.